Assalamu alaikum everybody. I hope you're all doing amazing, inshallah. Today we are going to talk about something I have been willing to talk about for as long as I remember. Actually, before I even started doing videos, I was like, I have to do a video about this when I start doing videos. So this is the infamous video. So today we're going to talk about the infamous dawah bros that have taken over Muslim TikTok, unfortunately. We're gonna analyze their ideology honestly, because they have a specific way to talk and see things. So we're gonna really get into the way they think, and yeah, let's talk about this, guys. Let's talk about this. I want to start off by saying that I think hehe, Ali Dawah are all very performative, performative people. The way they talk is they say things that contradicts themselves that happens in the future. So for example, it's not a real example that happened, but the type of stuff they'd be saying, for example, really, I wanted to explain to you, I'm just saying whatever. They could be saying grapes are the poison of our modern Muslim society, and then you can see him after 2-3 years seeing a video of him saying, guys, buy these grapes, these are the best grapes in existence, and they give you a stronger iman. They contradict themselves at some point. So I think everything they're doing has to be performative, because there's absolutely no way that they're serious in the stuff they say and the way they act. They do it for clicks, because I repeat myself, this cannot be real. Sometimes I just watch those videos I see on TikTok now, and I'm like, nah, there's absolutely no way there's an actual mu'min, a Muslim that goes by the Sunnah and the Quran that can speak like this, because there's absolutely no way. There's no way. Blame this on something I call religious arrogance. I know people in real life that have this, and it bothers me so much. It's thinking that the only Muslim interpretation that is right is the one you have for yourself, because they do not even base, most of the time, the facts they base themselves off are not from hadiths or verses of the Quran. It's purely based on their own opinions, not the opinion of the big shuyukh and imams, no, on their own opinion. And it's who do you think you are to make your opinion the only right one? Who? Anjan, who do you think you are? It's literally this big arrogance. For example, there's a video that went viral not long ago. It's a video of Akhi Ayman next to another wannabe sheikh. I don't know the other guy, but essentially they were smiling and laughing and saying, congratulations, sisters, to booking your seat to the hellfire. And then Akhi Ayman was laughing and saying first class ticket and stuff. Oh my god, the lighting keeps changing. My excuses. It's because of the clouds. Anyways, and this is where I'm you do not even take your own words seriously, and your place in Jannah is not guaranteed. Do you have a seat reserved in Jannah for you to be talking like this about other people? And I tried, my mom was continue with the video, what are they even talking about, because I talked with my mother, and then they essentially just started talking about women divorcing their husbands. What? What? And I think this whole discussion started off because Ali Dawah had some fuel with another woman, because she talked about how she's happy as a divorced woman because she divorced an abusive man. Oh my god. Let's talk about the Ali Dawah thing afterwards. Anyways, Akhi Ayman started laughing and stuff about the fact that other people are going to Jahannam, and this is where you're okay, there's something wrong. These people have something in their minds that is twisted misogyny, because their whole focus is dissecting every last detail of what a woman can do wrong, because there's things that women do that are specific to women that are haram, and I'm all for talking about this. But when it becomes wrong, when it is such little details where you're oh, we have bigger problems. You can talk about how women maybe do haram work or really like say bad things and do bad things, but like when you are almost crying and screaming in a video because you're like, oh, Muslim sisters these days, they'll be wearing belts, oh my god, yes, and oh my god, we have bigger problems, and you can make a video, okay, say, you know, to my sisters, like, you know, wearing a abaya and stuff. I know it's stylish these days to wear belts over your abayas, but in my opinion, this isn't like good and it could show more of your shape, so I would stay away from this and that thing. But the moment you start screaming and yelling and turning your advice into violence is when, wallahi, there's something wrong with you and you cannot deny it. There is something wrong with you, because how can you genuinely think that this is right, that your whole dawah is based off of this woman does that wrong and this woman does that wrong and this and this and this and this? Like, we have bigger problems. I know a lot of people get bothered by these comments by saying we have bigger problems, because they're like, yes, just because there's a bigger sin doesn't erase the one sin. But it's an objective sin. It's like, I can wear a belt over my abaya and it's not tight and it doesn't show anything about my form, and I can wear a jacket over, and that's where you're like, okay, that's objective. Like, who knows if I get sins with Allah or not, because it barely, like, it doesn't show any shape. Or there's people saying women can't wear backpacks because when you wear a backpack, you can see the shape of my shoulders. You can see the shape of my I have bones. Like, I can, no matter how baggy my clothes are, you're gonna see that I have bones. That's the anatomy of a person, of a human. I cannot, no matter what I wear, you're gonna see that I have shoulders. So this is where it's like very objective and opinion based. So you cannot insult women and say, oh my god, you're going to hellfire for this, you're committing this and that sin, because you are basing yourself off of purely your opinion, purely, that's all. And then there's Ali Dawa, where there's a woman, I don't know exactly the story, but this is what I understood from the story. A woman, she's divorced, and she says that she's happy as a divorced woman because her husband, this is what I talked about earlier, was abusive. And she said this is a sign to all women that to leave your husband because it's like kind of better for the kids. She's a single mom now, but she said like a lot of women like stay with their husbands even when they're abusive, because in their mind they're like, yeah, it's better for the kids. But when your husband is not a good father or not a good husband, it's worse for the kids actually, because they grow up in the future in an abusive household. So it's better to grow up with a good mother who cares and loves you than a mother but a father who's abusive, and you see him mistreating your mother every day and even maybe mistreating you, you know? So that's where she's like giving advice and saying like it's okay to be divorced, like you don't have to be ashamed of it, it's our right and we can do it and stuff like that. She's like very empowering woman, okay? And for some reason Ali Dawa was completely offended by it and started insulting her from all he can. I'm gonna put the video here next to me, right? I'm just gonna like share my screen. Wait.
She's right. Me as a man, I am so attracted to her. Imagine marrying a woman like her, you know, have the baby and leave, divorces show their self-worth, all men are the same, attacking men all day, every day. I cannot, we will take you as my second, third, fourth wife, whatever you want to do. I cannot wait to be married to a woman like you, 100%. I mean, the appeal is so...
So, first of all, there's a psychologist that just made a video about this, and I thought it was funny. He said that he is using sarcasm as a coping mechanism because to hide what he's truly feeling. So when he says like, oh my god, I'm so attractive to you, I'm like, I can't wait to have you as my second, third or fourth wife, like I'm like literally like I just fell in love or stuff like that, and he's using this strong sarcasm to hide his true feelings. And I thought that was like so funny because that may be true. And he's married, yeah, and let's talk about his wife later. But this comment alone, I wouldn't be happy if my husband was like a dawah brother and he does like videos on the internet, and like I cannot imagine as a woman seeing your husband like taking down a woman like that, like that to me, that's like insane, right? That's literally insane to me. Like, how can you stand by and see a man tear down another woman like that and you're okay with it? Like, that's insane. And then saying, well, I can't wait to have you as my third or second, fourth wife. Like, to me, that's insane.
Especially with those eyelashes that you have, sister, like you said, when I have eyelashes, because I'm in love with those eyelashes.
Bro, stuttering,
you
right?
blink a bit faster, you start flying away.
Anyways, let's finish the video. This is just like Aya's response. I think she's very strong. She wears like fake lashes, right? To be truthful, I'm against like very heavy makeup, because to me that's like slipping into tabarruj, and that's okay. That's my belief. And if someone will come to me for advice and I'm like, yeah, I wear very like strong makeup, and very like I wear fake lashes and stuff like that and extensions, this is where I'm like, yeah, there's this and that hadith that says this and that, and me personally, I would not advise you to continue doing this and that. That's how you give nasiha. That's truly how you give nasiha. Even if someone doesn't come to you and you care about that person, you can give them that nasiha and then hope for the best and pray for them. That's all. That's where your limit is. You see, you give the nasiha and then that's up to them to decide if they want to continue doing this and that or not. That's all. That's literally where your responsibility ends. Safi. Khalas. But these people go up to and personally attack these people. This is where I'm like, where I find this like sick. This is like sick. I would never in my life I truly say that I want to give nasiha to someone and then completely insult them. This is where I'm like, yeah, that's like disrespect. That's straight up disrespect. Like, and someone said that the Muslim community hates the Muslim community more than anyone else, and that's so true. We like go against each other so much, and like you can say that it's hypocrite. I don't know how to say it. Like double face, because I'm doing a video on Muslim brothers right now, but I want to say that what I'm doing is different because I'm truly just talking based off of facts. I'm not insulting the way they practice, because they can practice however they like, but the moment you act like you're superior to other people, that's where I come out and I'm like, yeah, calm down, because this is not okay. This is not okay. You shouldn't be talking like that about your brothers and sisters in Islam. You have to be. And the most manipulative thing they do is they insult this person in their videos, and then they go like, yeah, my brother, may Allah guide you, and they put it in like very like passive aggressive at the end, so you can say, no, look at him, he said may Allah guide her and stuff like that, which like right now he didn't, but like they do that, they really do that, and then expect you to be like, oh my god, yes, he's just giving nasiha. People are lost these days. He is the person that is lost because all they care about is woman this and woman that. Because truthfully, I'm gonna show you a photo because of a Muslim girl wearing a belt over her abaya. You see this? And you cannot tell me that this is more of a problem than most of the youth being addicted to nicotine. You know what I'm talking about? Because I, as a person that grows up with people my age, to me the biggest problem I see is haram relationships and people really being addicted to substances. The problem is, I do not see one single, maybe they've done one, maybe I'm not educated enough, but I have not seen one video talking about how boys are normalizing smoking. Because let's be honest, women smoke too, obviously, but I want to say that smoking culturally has more become something of a male thing, and you cannot tell me that smoking is not haram. Like, I do not go by this interpretation whatsoever, right? Because the moment it's something that's more male accommodated in Muslim culture, that's where like, no, it's halal, no, it's makruh, it's okay. But the moment a woman, if it was a female thing, like culturally, people would be like, no, it's haram, oh my god, shame on this woman and stuff like that. And it's like, I know that a lot of these interpretations come from misogyny, and I'm like really like close-minded. I'm like very not open-minded in anyone saying the opposite, because to me there is no chance that smoking is not haram or that it's makruh. It's haram and safi. Because if self-harming is haram and committing self-execution is haram, you cannot tell me that smoking is not haram, because it's literally self-harming yourself in a way worse way. Because when we talk about like self-harming the way we know it, with like cutting and stuff, it's like it's just on the outside, and of course it's not good for your body, but smoking destroys you from the inside and causes cancer, which you like die and you cannot do anything about it, because most stages of cancer are not like, you cannot heal from them. So to come here and try to tell me that women wearing belts over the abayas is a bigger problem and women wearing backpacks is a bigger problem than people smoking, to me that is incomprehensible. I mean, it's I cannot comprehend it. It's to me an impossible situation that you come here and cry about this and that, and women doing this and women doing that, and then being such a hypocrite and not talking about anything else. There's one man specifically, I completely forgot his name, I may include it here right now in the editing. He made a video saying, a woman that does not care about what his woman wears, does not care about his woman, that man is a youth. And one thing that I want to add before I continue the story is the fact that these dawah brothers, other than dissecting women, they can dissect men only when it is about women. So they insult women for what they wear, for what they say, for how they act, and they do not say anything about men unless it has something to do with how they treat their wives. So this is where it comes again. All they care about is woman this, woman that, woman this, woman that. It's sick. All I hear is woman this, woman that. And it's like people, the youth, the young brothers look up to these people so much and are literally, I'm gonna say this with no shame, are literally poisoning their heads, because it's subconsciously giving this message that you do not have to better yourself, you have to better only the women. That you do not care about your acts, and the only bad acts are women, and women this, and women that. When truthfully, Allah said to the men to lower their gaze before telling the women to wear the hijab. Like, women also have to lower the gaze, and men also have their own hijab. But I'm just telling you that respectfully lower your gaze. That's all you can do. Lower your gaze. If something bothers you that much, lower your gaze, brother. Like, why are you even looking up? Why are you even looking up? This is like my thought process. Anyways, this man says that anyway, he was like, why should I command my wife to wear the hijab when Allah has already commanded my wife to wear the hijab? You know what? Better than the hijab, wear niqab. He later goes on to marry a woman without hijab, which, like, there's nothing wrong with that. But, like, this is the hypocrisy. And then in his wedding pictures, he poses with a cigar. And it's like, you are not the super perfect Muslim you are making yourself out to be. It's okay, we make mistakes. It happens. But, like, this is a different issue, because there's cigarettes and there's cigars, and to me, like, the cigars is also like a sign of like extravagancy. Like, rich people use that, and it's like, not only does it harm your body and it's toxic and it's haram for that reason, but on top of that, that's to me like bragging and showing arrogance and showing that you're upper class, and that's something that Allah that the Prophet has warned us from. For example, he told the men to not wear clothes that go down their ankles, because back then the rich men and the arrogant men would wear thobes that would like drag behind them. Now, to me, my interpretation is that now it doesn't count anymore, because now it's the opposite. If someone wears like very baggy clothes, it's like, oh my god, this person looks homeless and poor, which, like, you are open to another interpretation. It's okay. But, like, I'm just saying that this is also a clear sign of arrogance, yet you still do it. Yet, like, that's another that's a bigger problem. And people that go around telling you, you're the youth, for simply letting their wives exist in the public eye. Like, this is, to me, I repeat, an impossible situation to comprehend. This is a situation where you're like, they cannot be for real. These people, like, for example, that man specifically who is so strict about what the youth is, he does not apply these rules to his private life. So that shows that they are playing a role. That shows exactly that my point is valid, and that when I said that they're very performative, I was speaking my truth 100%. There's also, oh my god, what was his username? Best looking Moroccan guy or something? I think his name was Yusuf. No, I have no idea. Wait, let me show y'all his account. Also, I want to add something on the Ali Dawah situation that he has with that one woman that he made numerous videos on how much he just hates her in a way, because of whatever reason. Like, he hated on her because she wears lashes. Okay, that's not a reason to get all worked up, and he lost so many followers because of that also. So like, he like put his whole career on stop just for that. But yeah, so I want to talk more about like his situation, and I think he's projecting a lot of like self-hatred onto her, because later on it came out that he himself divorced before marrying the wife that he has now. And the thing is, I think it's very like interesting that I think he's projecting the fact that he does not want the woman he divorced back then, or she divorced him, they divorced. He does not want to see her happy afterwards. So seeing another woman that is divorced happy, honestly, it's like, I think he's projecting his insecurities onto her, for real. Like, because how can you be divorced and find happiness afterwards and marry another woman, but when another woman is happy but without marrying another man, that's when you're like, get mad. Like, that's my point. That's like, he's very much projecting his insecurities onto other people, and it's very immature. He's making content very immature, because I repeat, there's a lot of people saying men shouldn't give advice on women ever, and I think that's wrong. That's completely wrong. I think when someone does Islamic content, they should do men and women, because we're both part of this ummah. Okay, just like I talk right now, I'm a woman, and I talk about what men do and what's wrong about that, but I also could talk about what women do and what's wrong about that. Like, that's part of the way, but we have to like be logical and like do it half, you know what I mean? Like, this is the content, you should split it in half: women, men. And maybe as a man, you can give more advice to men. So if anything, more to the men, because you understand their situation better than you will ever understand a woman's situation. Because I prefer giving advice to women, honestly. Like, that's what's more fun. I did a lot of TikToks about hijab and how you should act and this and that. So like, I prefer giving advice to women because I just understand the experience better. And now let's talk about his wife. So there was a podcast episode where he like asked questions to his wife, and the way she communicated was not, first of all, she did not show her face. They showed her from the behind, like from her back. And second of all, she did not speak. She spoke with a whiteboard. Many people say they made a lot of rumors about that. I later on talked with my brother about this. Turns out she just didn't want a microphone. She wanted to talk through a whiteboard. Maybe she's not comfortable with showing her voice. I don't know. Maybe she believes it's aura. I really have no idea why. But later on, sorry, I got a message. Later on, she did make a video with her voice to defend Ali, because a lot of people felt sorry for her just because of how bad he talks about women and stuff like that. So let's react to this video in question.
And to those participating in this smear.
Wait, I'm like
Assalamu alaikum, dear sister Aya, and to those participating in this smear campaign against my husband. All this because his main message was not to glorify something as serious as divorce.
He himself was divorced, I repeat. She was not glorifying it. She was just telling women that live in abusive marriages to just leave, and it's better for their mental health and for their children. I repeat.
Also, it seems that my husband's decision to keep our marriage, relationship and personal life private has led some people who dislike Islam, who have hidden it.
I do not dislike Islam, but it's just very disheartening to see that a woman truly does not stand up for another woman in a situation of sisterhood, really. I do not dislike Islam, but it's just the truth. Ali Dawah has said very sexist comments, and it's just the truth.
And even some sisters to make false assumptions and accusations. They've spread rumours of feeling sorry for me for being married to Ali. Let me make this very clear.
It's not a rumor. People do truly feel sorry for you, by the way.
I don't know which Ali they're referring to.
And it's sweet that she's defending her husband. It's very sweet. And maybe he is a very good person, generally in life, and a good father, and a good and husband that treats her right. I'm not going to continue with the video. Maybe, like, I do not know him personally, so I'm not going to talk about what kind of person. And I do not doubt that his intentions are wrong. I do not doubt, because he started off as a person that purely wants to spread the message of Islam. He used to do dawah on the street. Maybe he still does that. I just don't see it anymore as much. Now I just see him slandering other women. But I used to be a very big fan of him doing dawah on the street, just because I liked the way he did it and how respectful he was. So, like, I really do believe that he's a good person, maybe, and that has heart of hearts. But then he said that about it. She truly, the woman Aya, defended herself. And truly, from really, I really want to explain to y'all that woman was attacked out of nowhere from a man, and he has a big platform. He has a way bigger platform than her. I didn't know her before all of the drama. So he used all of this big platform to make fun of her, to poke fun at her lashes. He said, "Oh, wow, I'm so attracted to you with your lashes that are gonna take you and fly away." This is taking down another woman, and it's just so subjective. Like, are you trying to give Islamic advice, or are you just purely trying to make fun of her? So her being like, "Oh my God, this Aya, she wants to take down my husband and wants to say this and that and spread rumors." That poor girl just defended her point. She was attacked first. She did not attack Ali. Your husband, ma'am, attacked that woman first. So saying, "Oh, this is a message to her because of what she did to my husband," like, she comes from the only thing she did is defend herself. She defended herself. He attacked first. All she did was defend. So I'm not like a big fan of like standing up for another woman. You have to do that because you're another woman, because sometimes women are wrong. But this time it really applies. Like, girl, you are not better than her in any means. So like, she's your sister in Islam. I think you should like just stop being so blind, and just because it's your husband doesn't mean he can't be wrong. But yeah, it's not any of my business of what she feels about her husband, but publicly saying that Aya wants to, like the girl that was divorced, wants to glorify divorce is honestly heartbreaking, because she was abused by her husband, and the only thing she wanted to say is that she feels happy after divorce, and that if you're unhappy in your marriage, that it's okay to get divorced. She did not glorify anything. And it's funny that afterwards it came out that Ali Dawah himself was divorced, because it's like, I think there's a little bit of projection happening there. Anyways, this is the part. Now let's get back to the rest of the video. I don't even know what I was yapping about. So here's a screenshot of his TikTok I just found. Yeah, his name is Yusuf. So this guy Yusuf made various various videos acting very like super religious and haram this, and every time there's reel on Instagram or something, because I used to follow him, I obviously unfollowed him, that's a Muslim woman talking about their ideology and stuff, he always puts some kind of like sexist comment under her post, and it's like, are you sick in the mind? For example, there's one woman that said, "We have forgotten that women also used to teach about Islam, and now all the biggest like people that teach Islam are men, and even at the times of the Prophet, Aisha radiallahu anha, that was the wife of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, used to teach people about Islam and the narrations of hadith. So like, it's okay for now to like have women that teach Islam, and that we should normalize it again." Valid point, 100% with her, because a lot of the men that interpreted Islam said very wrong things. For example, I had a book which taught about the rules of Islam, or I think it was called Halal and Haram in Islam, and there was a part that said, that was talking about like beating your wife, and there was written that there is a hadith that said the Prophet, "The best of you do not beat your wives," if I remember right. And then the interpretation, what was it? Not don't beat your wives. It was that it's allowed to beat your wife. Yeah, you should beat your wife. But it's like, you should maybe avoid it, maybe. Like, that's where the interpretation was like, ooh, like that's what you took from this hadith? You took that you can do it, but maybe you should try to avoid it. Because I talked with my father about this. My father is very, like big in the scene of teaching Islam and stuff. Like, he does a lot of khutbahs and stuff like that, even online and stuff. So my father, I always go to him for Islamic advice because he really studied that stuff. He said, Binti, my daughter, don't listen to these people. These people are sick. And when it's like, they say, no, it's like these modern feminist women shouldn't have a talk. And like, there's nothing wrong with being a feminist woman, but whatever, let's get it out. But my father, a traditional man that grew up in an Arab country, saying that these people shouldn't be listened to, that's where you're like, okay, maybe she has a point. Maybe we should listen when someone says that not every interpretation is right. I'm sorry about the lighting changing every 2 seconds. I literally cannot control it. It's the sun. I don't have any lamp. But yeah. So really, my advice right now doesn't go to the Muslim sisters, because I know that the Muslim sisters like try to get their, like, I notice online that the Muslim sisters are not like gullible to the dawah brothers, but it's more like, and I see this, like, this is affecting the Muslim ummah in real life. Like, I meet people that follow these kind of people, and I talk to them and like, oh my god, you are a lost brother. Like, my advice goes out to all Muslim brothers: do not get your Islam from Quran and Hadith. And maybe you find a person online that does good da'wah, but fact check everything they say. Don't blindly follow everyone. For example, Asim al-Hakim, to me, I used to find him funny, but at some point he just became rude and arrogant, and this is where I'm like, yo, like, you have to calm down. Like, you should not like follow someone that shows the slightest glimpse of arrogance, because arrogance is a very big sin, and this is the worst kind of people you can meet, is people who have arrogance, and especially religious arrogance, because it's like, you want to do good, maybe that's his niyyah, right? I do not know anyone's intentions, and we have to assume the best. Maybe your niyyah is to spread the message of Islam, but then showing you are representing Islam, especially like in non-Muslim countries, when you do da'wah on the street, you are representing Islam, so you have to be kind and compassionate. So when you do it with arrogance, this is a very, very major misguidance of Islam, because you're showing that Islam is based off of arrogance and narcissism, which you shouldn't do. For example, there's Sneeko. I do not support Sneeko in any way, but like, he said things where I'm like, ooh, but like, he, in this, I said but like in like 1,000 times. I'm sorry. But yeah, he asked Asim al-Hakim on a live stream or something. He converted Sneeko. If you don't know him, I think he's a streamer that reverted to Islam, which, like, Allahumma barik. He asked Asim al-Hakim, he was like, the Prophet ﷺ said that there's no racial supremacy. I really don't remember the hadith. I apologize. I will put it here if I find it. But he also said that the Yemenis are the best of people. Like, this is where I'm like a bit confused, because doesn't that count as racial supremacy? And like, he didn't understand it. That's okay. Like, he's a revert. That's okay to like explain stuff to him. That's like, to me, it's a very valid question. It's okay to ask questions. It's what's good for you, because to live in doubt and not talk about your struggle and your questions is unhealthy. So it's okay that he asked questions. He asked Asim al-Hakim. He does not answer his questions. Asim al-Hakim literally on the live stream starts screaming and yelling, that's the problem with the Imma today. They always try to find this and that and problems with this and that. Like, you are a kafir. He wasn't talking specifically to Sneeko maybe, but he was just, that was his answer to the question. You cannot say he was talking about something else. Like, he was talking about Sneeko. And a lot of people in the comments were like, for some reason, defending him. And that's where I'm like, why are you defending him if he specifically talked about Sneeko? Because if that's the answer to his question, who is he talking about? He's not talking about his neighbor down the street. He's talking about the person that asked the question. So this is where I'm like, stop the arrogance, guys. Like, be humble, be humble. Like, you're not the best Muslim in the world. You also sin, you also do mistakes, and you should act accordingly. You should act like a servant of Allah that tries his best. You should not act like someone who has it all figured out, because you cannot have it all figured out. That's like literally impossible. We always have this and that question, and we always try to find the better version of ourselves. But when you believe that you are truly the best version of yourself, that's when it's a problem. Anyways, again, continue my advice to the Muslim brothers: stop blindly following these people just because they make you maybe feel better as a male person, because they do like uplift men more and like try to show that the men are better kind of with their dawah. So maybe that makes you feel better about yourself, but still these are not like, actually these are like really not people you should be following if you really want to like get through the real message of Islam. I think maybe like Omar Sulaiman is a very good example of a good, like, someone that gives dawah with compassion. I think that also like Mufti Menk has said things that maybe I kind of maybe sometimes disagree with, but at the end of the day, he's still a good like dawah giver, because every time he gives dawah, he gives it with compassion and thought. When I say I disagree with him on some things, he once gave a situation where he was like, even if your husband cheats on you, you should continue to like cook for him and like treat him with respect and kindness and do not get mad at him. And that's why I'm like, you cannot say that to a woman who's like feels betrayed and heartbroken. That's okay. That's like nothing compared to what these other people are saying. Just like putting my point across. Follow people that give you facts, like literally give you facts on facts, and do not modify the facts to make themselves look better. Like truly take the hadith how it is and then really adapt it in a good way, not being like, yeah, that means like, for example, one last example, the Prophet ﷺ once cried because he said, I'm sad about the brothers I'm not gonna meet because he will not be alive for that time, like talking about us. Every single interpretation of that was he was talking about the ummah in itself, not about men specifically. Yet some men took this hadith and was like, oh, even the Prophet, astaghfirullah, it's really sick. Even the Prophet like cried about the men, but he did not cry about the woman. And it shows that his connection, oh my God, so sick. I don't even want to repeat these words, but like that's an example of just how sick these people can be. So yeah, have a good day, everyone. I gotta go. I just wanted to let this out because the ummah is lost, and these people should not be the representation of Islam, especially not online. So